there. I'm Tiffani Frey, the owner and coach here at Glassine Financial Coaching. I'm really excited that you stopped by. Thank you so much. If you're here, it's probably because you are tired of living paycheck to paycheck. And let me assure you that you are absolutely not alone in feeling that way. And that's why I've put together this short video to give you a few tips to help you jumpstart your journey to financial freedom. So grab a pen and paper and let's get going.
Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is get an understanding of your financial situation as it stands right now. And this really has three components to it. The first thing is you need to find out how much liquid money you have on hand right now. And this includes all sources of money that you have. So your checking account, savings account, cash that you have on hand in your wallet or in your purse, or maybe you have a jar of coins up on the shelf. And then if you have money market account, so all of your accounts that you have and all the cash that you have on hand, write all those amounts down and then total them up. And this will give you the amount of liquid money that you have access to today. So that's the first thing that you need to know. The second thing is, what is your average monthly income? And this would be from all sources after all of your deductions. So, you're going to have taxes taken out, maybe health insurance. And if you have multiple sources of income, maybe you have two jobs, or you're in a household where both of you work, something like that. So write down all the sources of income and add them up. And that is your average monthly income. And then the third thing that you need to know is, what are your monthly expenses? What do those average? And this can take a little while to gather all the information and write everything down. But this is a very important piece. So look at old bank statements, or, if you have a check register, whatever it may be. But you want to write down all of the expenses that you have in a month. So this would include regular bills that you pay every month, things like your mortgage or your rent, gym memberships that you might have, phone bill, utilities, any bills that come in that you pay every month, write those down. Any debt that you have, where you have bills, credit card bills, student loans, medical payments, write all of those down. You're also going to have regular expenses that are coming every single month, grocery shopping, gas for the car, maybe you pay tolls, or maybe you take, have bus fare. So you're going to have things like that. They're going to fluctuate every month, but you know that you have those coming. So get kind of an average amount for each month, write those down. And then you also have sporadic expenses. Now, these are things that they're not regular expenses, but that they're things that you do or things that you buy. Maybe you like to eat out a couple times a month, or go to the movies, or maybe your kids are in activities that you have to pay for, or that you've got school coming up, so you're going to have school expenses coming up. Whatever those expenses are, write those down as well. So now you've got a list of all your monthly expenses, add those up. So now you have the three pieces of information that you need to really start this process. You can't even start making any kind of financial strategy or start down this journey to financial freedom without knowing those three basic things: your liquid money that's available, your average monthly income, and your average monthly expenses. All right, next, you need to track your spending for at least one full week. Ideally, you would actually track it for a full month, but at a minimum, track it for a week. And you can do this however is most convenient for you. You can use the Notes app on your phone, you could use a spreadsheet, or even just a pen and paper. It really doesn't matter. But every single time you spend even a penny, write it down, keep track of it. And it doesn't matter what the expense was for. Maybe you paid rent that week, or you went out with friends for some drinks, or you got a haircut, or you paid your electric bill. It really doesn't matter what that expense was, but write it down. And then it also doesn't matter how you paid for it. You know, if you paid cash, you wrote a check, you used a debit card, even if you used a credit card, write it down. You want to track every single penny that you are spending for that week or for that month. And the point of this exercise is twofold. First of all, it gets you to actually look at the money that's flowing out. You're not just paying bills and spending money robotically. You need to start really paying attention to it. So this gets you into that mode of where you're looking consciously at the money that you're spending. And then second of all, it gets you into the habit of tracking your spending, because tracking your money, keeping track of it, is a very, very important part of obtaining financial freedom. You cannot get there. You cannot fix what's going on if you don't first know where it's broken. So you have to start with tracking. And the third step to jumpstarting your journey here is to find ways to reduce your monthly expenses. You just made a list of them all, so you know what they are. So take a look at that list and think about each item on the list and think, is there a way I could make that cheaper? And there's a few different ways you can do this. For example, you could look for different providers for some of the services that you have, like your internet or your cell phone. You know, spend some time shopping around, compare plans, see if there's something cheaper that you can switch to. And I know it might take a few hours on the phone to transfer service. I know this is a big pain. I actually just did this a few months ago with my cell phone, and I spent like 5 or 6 hours dealing with this, but it was really worth doing because it saved me almost $100 a month. So look around and see if there's better options for you. Another thing that you can do to reduce your monthly expenses is change your shopping habits. For example, instead of buying brand name items, try some less expensive ones. You might be surprised, whether it's food, you know, maybe you have your favorite brand of something that you like to eat. Try a generic brand or the store brand and see. It might be just as good. You can also use a coupon app to discover savings that you might not be aware of. There's a lot of apps that you can put on your phone, so you don't have to actually clip coupons in the Sunday paper. You can take the app with you to the stores, and you can save money that way. There are apps that you can use while you're shopping online too. I have an app called Honey, and I love that app. It's on my desktop. And when I'm shopping online, it automatically looks for coupon codes out in the virtual universe. And any coupon codes it finds, it tries in the shopping cart, and it can save you money that way. So look around and see if there are, things like that you can use. And then, of course, you can reduce your monthly expenses by cutting back on what you're spending. Especially if it's in the areas of things that might be frivolous. Now, you don't want to completely stop doing everything fun and that brings you joy. You really don't. I know it's tempting to do that, but don't. But reduce it, okay? I'm 100% sure that you could find ways to spend less in this area. Maybe eating out one less time a month. Or if you love going to movies, go to matinees instead of the evening movies and skip the popcorn. There are things that you can do to scale back on that type of spending, but don't cut it out completely, because you need to still have enjoyment in your life. And if you're really, really rigid and really, really strict, you're not going to stick to any kind of financial plan that you put together. All right, so just remember that the tips that I gave you in this video, they're just a jumping off point. Doing these things they'll get you primed and ready so you can make lasting changes to your money habits. And if you're looking for what to do next, If you watch this video and you're like, okay, I'm ready to go, but where do I go from here? Or if you're just looking for more in-depth info on things like how to pay down your debts, or how to put money away in savings, or design a budget and stick to it, you'll want to download my free ebook, Break Free from the Paycheck to Paycheck Life. In the book, I show you the 8 steps that you need to take to achieve financial freedom. And the awesome thing is that I include a bunch of worksheets at the back of the book that you can use as you progress through the book. So check that out. You can download it right here by filling out the form.
Thanks again for stopping by. I really hope that this video and my book are helpful for you. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to set up a discovery call with me. There's no charge for it. I am here to support you and guide you on your journey to financial freedom. Thanks again.